But I have second-guessed myself all week long about what I could have done or should have done differently. And it's been tough. It's been really tough.
The Muskogee County District Attorney is speaking tonight on Jesse McFadden's child porn case. McFadden, as you know right now, was out on bond in that case when police say he shot and killed 6 people in Henrietta, 5 of them children, then killed himself.
It's such a disturbing case. We've been bringing you extensive coverage on this tragedy and the state's response all week long. FOX23's crime and safety reporter Abigail Dye is live in Henrietta. Abigail, what kind of insight did the Muskogee County DA give you?
Well, he gave me a lot of insight. You see, McFadden is a convicted rapist, and he was facing new child porn charges for something that he allegedly did while he was in prison for rape. And, you know, I wanted to talk to the DA and ask the question that many of us have been wondering. Why wasn't McFadden kept behind bars?
A tragedy that family members say didn't have to happen.
My daughter could have been alive and my grandchildren could have been alive had Oklahoma done their due diligence and kept him behind bars.
Jesse McFadden murdered 6 people while out on bond for a crime he allegedly committed in prison.
We need answers of why this monster was released to be able to hurt kids.
Muskogee County District Attorney Larry Edwards wasn't in office when the case was filed, but took it over when elected in 2022.
Me being the DA of Muskogee County, honestly, I accept responsibility for that. Even though I was not here for most of that time period, ultimately it's my responsibility.
In 2003, McFadden was sentenced to 20 years in prison for rape. In 2016, prison guards found child porn on his phone. And in 2017, he was charged with 2 counts of child porn. McFadden was released from prison in 2020 after serving 17 years of the 20-year sentence. The Department of Corrections said in a statement he earned enough credits through their credit system to serve only 85% of his time.
Do you think the credit system is a good system to be using?
That's DOC policy, and I'm not going to get into DOC policy.
McFadden was re-arrested on the child porn charges and posted a $25,000 bond in November of 2020.
Do you feel like that's a reasonable bond for a person like this?
I do not.
McFadden's case was pushed off for years because of the courthouse changing prosecutors, COVID, and McFadden's lawyer dying.
One of the most disappointing factors in this case was we let this case to go on as long as it did. And that's unacceptable. It just is.
The case was set to go to trial Monday, the same day McFadden and his 6 victims were found dead.
In retrospect, do you feel like things should have been done differently with this case?
Absolutely. There are a lot of things. I mean, as many people have said, the justice system broke on this case, and it did.
I don't want anybody else to go through this. So I ask that the country come together and we stop this. This needs to stop. These people need to be locked up for good.
It's a lot to digest, and you heard it here. You heard it from the families and lawmakers and now officials. What happened here was a break in our justice system.
Abigail, such good information coming in. Did you talk to Edwards about if anything would change moving forward?
Yes, Sarah, he says that this completely changes the way that his office looks at bonds for violent sexual offenders. He says he wants to raise those bonds and make sure while someone is waiting on trial, they stay behind bars. Live in Henrietta, covering news that matters, I'm Abigail Dye, Fox 23 News.